It started with a home run, one clean swing, one soaring ball, and one family moment that should have been unforgettable. Instead, it turned into one of the most viral fan scandals baseball has ever seen. A father, a young son, and a mystery woman now branded across the internet as Phillies Karen. On a Friday night in Miami, the Philadelphia Phillies were facing off against the Marlins. In the fourth inning, Phillies outfielder Harrison Bader connected with a pitch and launched it into the left field stands at Lone Depot Park. Like every home run, it carried with it more than just points on the board. It carried a piece of baseball tradition. Whoever catches that ball gets to keep it. In the scramble that followed, Drew Feltwell, a father wearing Phillies gear, managed to snag the ball. His family had traveled to the game together, and Drew wanted nothing more than to create a special memory for his son, Lincoln, who was celebrating his birthday. After scooping up the prized souvenir, he turned back, placed it into Lincoln's glove, and gave him a hug. For a brief moment, it was perfect. But just seconds later, that moment collapsed. A woman wearing Phillies gear stormed down the aisle, got in Drew's face, and shouted, "That's my ball!" The confrontation was loud, heated, and instantly caught the attention of everyone in the section. Phones were already recording, and the crowd's mood shifted from cheers to boos. Drew froze. The ball that had just made his son's birthday was now the center of a public standoff. After tense words and pressure from the woman, Drew made a split-second decision. He reached into Lincoln's glove, took the ball back, and handed it over. The woman triumphantly walked away, leaving a stunned father, a heartbroken child, and a stadium full of fans in disbelief. It didn't take long for the footage to explode online. By the next morning, clips of the incident were everywhere. From X to TikTok to Instagram, the outrage was immediate. Comments flooded in, accusing the woman of being selfish, entitled, and cruel. The fact that it was Lincoln's birthday made the story even more emotional. She took a ball from a kid on his birthday. Fans fumed. Unbelievable. Memes rolled out within hours. Some labeled her the Grinch of baseball. Others edited the clip into parodies, turning a moment of fan drama into a cultural spectacle. Comparisons were drawn to infamous fan incidents in sports history, and her nickname solidified, Phillies Karen. But as always, the internet wasn't entirely one-sided. Some pointed out that the ball had landed closer to her seat, claiming she might have had the first chance at it. Others argued that Drew had sprinted across rows, scooping up something that wasn't technically his. Still, the overwhelming tide was against her. In the court of public opinion, she was guilty, not of breaking rules, but of breaking an unwritten code of sportsmanship. As the backlash spread, the Feltwell family found themselves at the center of a viral firestorm. Drew later explained that he hadn't wanted a fight in the stands. "I had a fork in the road," he said. "Either do something I'd regret, or be a dad and show my son how to de-escalate." He chose restraint, but that choice carried a painful weight. His son Lincoln, nearly 10 years old, admitted softly, "I wasn't very happy that we had to give it to her, but we can't win." His words hit the internet like a gut punch. A child who just wanted to celebrate his birthday with a ball from his favorite team had been forced to learn a harsh lesson about entitlement and disappointment. Drew made it clear he wasn't interested in revenge. In interviews, he even urged people not to harass the woman. "Please don't do anything to that lady. Leave it alone. Somebody knows her and can talk to her. That's different. But God, I don't want people breaking into her house." The internet already messed her up pretty good. His plea for calm only fueled the debate further. Could restraint and forgiveness survive in a culture built on viral outrage? Of course. Outrage rarely stops at anger. Within hours, the internet sleuths began their hunt. People scanned photos, compared outfits, and tried to match her face against Facebook profiles. Names started spreading, and with them, accusations. At least one New Jersey teacher was wrongly identified as the woman in the video, forcing her school district to issue a public statement. She was not Phillies Karen, had never been at the game, and had nothing to do with the drama. Others on Facebook had to publicly deny being her, posting photos and jokes to distance themselves from the unwanted attention. Yet the real identity of the woman remained unconfirmed. What had started as a sports spat was now bleeding into real lives, with strangers dragged into the chaos of mistaken identity. It was the darker side of viral culture, where people became collateral damage in a digital manhunt. And still, the question lingered, who was she, really? While the internet tried to unmask the mystery woman, the Phillies and Marlins made sure Lincoln didn't leave the stadium empty-handed. A Marlins representative tracked the family down and handed Lincoln a goodie bag filled with baseball memorabilia, apologizing for the ordeal. The Phillies went even further. After the game, Harrison Bader himself met with the family. He signed a bat, posed for photos and made sure Lincoln had something more memorable than the lost ball. The team even revealed online that it had been Lincoln's birthday, sharing a heartwarming picture of him smiling with his new bat. For fans, it was a class act from both organizations, proof that while the game had its villains, it also had its heroes. The story didn't end in the stands. Within days, companies and entertainers were seizing the viral spotlight. Blowout Cards, an online baseball card retailer, made a cheeky offer, $5,000 for the ball, but only if the woman signed it with the words, "I'm sorry." The plan was to give the ball back to Lincoln, turning her act of entitlement into a public apology. Meanwhile, the Savannah Bananas, a popular exhibition baseball team known for comedic skits, staged a parody of the event. In their version, a performer dressed as the woman stormed the stands, snatching a ball away in exaggerated fashion, a nod to how quickly the incident had turned into a cultural meme. Mainstream outlets covered the drama relentlessly, and suddenly, what began as a dispute over a foul ball was being debated on national talk shows. Was this just an isolated act of rudeness, or a symptom of something bigger? To many, the Phillies Karen drama was just the latest chapter in a growing trend of questionable fan behavior. Days earlier, the US Open had its own viral scandal when businessman Piotr Szczerek grabbed a hat meant for a child. He later apologized publicly, admitting he acted without thinking, but not before becoming the target of widespread backlash. And just as this story unfolded, another clip circulated. A Mets fan caught ripping a ball out of an elderly man's hands. That too sparked condemnation, highlighting a pattern that was becoming hard to ignore. Sports stadiums have always had passionate, sometimes reckless energy, but with cameras everywhere and social media amplifying every misstep, entitlement in the stands is now on display for the world. Each new incident raises the same question: have fans forgotten the unwritten code of fairness and respect that makes the game enjoyable for everyone? For now, the woman remains unidentified, though her reputation online is sealed. Her life is about to change, some commenters predicted, suggesting that internet infamy lasts longer than any game. Drew continues to stress that people should leave her alone, urging calm in the face of anger. But the internet has a way of remembering, and whether she steps forward with an apology or disappears completely, her place in baseball's viral Hall of Fame is already secure. One baseball, one father, one child, and one woman whose actions became a national spectacle. In the end, Lincoln didn't keep the home run ball, but he walked away with something more: a signed bat, a viral spotlight, and the support of millions of strangers. His father showed restraint in the face of provocation, and the internet, it crowned another villain in the endless cycle of outrage. But maybe the real lesson is simpler. A baseball is just a souvenir. A child's memory of their birthday should last longer,